Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This video will help you understand the very basic of what is Pollution Control Officer or PCO and what PCOs usually do. So, without further ado, let's get started. What is a Pollution Control Officer? It is a technical person competent in pollution control and environmental management, performing the duties and responsibilities in a particular establishment and officially accredited by the Environmental Management Bureau or EMB Regional Office to perform such responsibilities. The reference is DAO number 2014-02. Example, you are the PCO or the Pollution Control Officer of a semiconductor manufacturing company. You need to ensure that the waste generated, such as solid and hazardous waste, is properly disposed or in accordance with the mandates of Environmental Management Bureau. As PCO, you will serve as a liaison in processing environmental permits, certificates, and licenses such as discharge permit, permit to operate, and so on. Anyways, some of these will be discussed on the later part of this video. How can you be a pollution control officer? In order for you to become an accredited PCO or pollution control officer, you need to comply with the following. Number 1, you should undergo the 40 hours basic PCO training from DNR EMB accredited training institutions. Number 2, you must be a bachelor's degree holder. Number 3, you must be a Filipino citizen of a legal age with good moral character and mentally and physically healthy. Last but not the least, you must be a full-time employee of the establishment where you are being appointed or designated as PCO. In addition to that, being a fully pledged PCO requires lots of experience from the actual job. But, accreditation-wise, the above mentioned is already sufficient. For the validity of PCO training, remember that the PCO training is valid for 3 years, starting from the date of completion of the course. PCO accreditation. Of course, to be able to be an accredited PCO under the establishment being rendered, the PCO should submit the necessary documents or requirements as per DAO 2014-02, such as diploma and/or TOR, curriculum vitae, appointment letter, and so on. Remember that the accreditation is valid for 3 years. Please also note that accreditation will be automatically revoked once the PCO resigns from the establishment he or she is rendering. For example, you have resigned from Company A and will start as PCO in Company B. You need to reapply accreditation from EMB under the name of the Company B. Note that the accreditation will be reset and will be valid again for 3 years once new accreditation for Company B has been granted. PCO main duties and responsibilities. The following are the most basic duties and responsibilities of an accredited PCO, but this may still vary depending on the organization. But the ones mentioned here must not be omitted. Again, the following are the main duties and responsibilities of an accredited PCO. Number 1, ensure that the organization complies with the regulatory and statutory requirements of the mandated environmental laws, whether locally or internationally. So this will depend on the applicability and nature of business. Number 2, submission of reports to DNR or EMB. Last but not the least, renewal of permits, certificates, and licenses. Now, let's discuss about the ECC or Environmental Compliance Certificate. Remember that before the company or project starts, the establishment should conduct a study for environmental impact that may be caused by the project or establishment and shall take corresponding mitigating measures. If the organization demonstrates that they will not cause adverse impact to the environment, then that's the time the EMB will issue an ECC, and it will be valid unless amended or revoked. In other words, or basically, it is issued to all projects or establishment that has potential adverse environmental impact as per Philippine Environmental Impact Statement or PEIS. For CNC, or Certificate of Non-Coverage, This is another form of certificate granted by EMB, or it may be considered as lower version of ECC, wherein the project or establishment is not covered by the Philippine Environmental Impact Statement. For this part, let's discuss the reports submitted by the PCO. Again, these are the most basic reports submitted and may still vary depending on the scope of the regulations. Let's say, for example, CTA has extra regulations for waste segregation, and CTA is requiring you to submit waste management report. With that, you need to comply for this statutory requirement. Note that the organization and or LGUs may add extra mandates but shall never omit any national and/or international regulations within the scope of the establishment. Anyways, the report to be submitted will depend on these two conditions. Number 1, establishment with issued ECC, and number 2, establishment with issued CNC. The following are the most basic reports to be submitted by the establishments under ECC. First, Self-Monitoring Report or SMR. This is a monitoring tool used by the EMB to ensure that the establishment complies with the environmental regulations mandated by the Bureau. This shall be submitted promptly on a quarterly basis. Second, the Semi-Annual Compliance Monitoring Report or CMR. This is a monitoring tool used by the EMB to ensure that the establishment complies with the conditions stipulated on the issued ECC. This shall be submitted promptly on a semi-annual basis. For the establishments with issued CNC, SMR is the only requirement. We're now approaching to the last part of this video. We'll be enumerating the most common permits renewed and monitored by the PCO. First, the discharge permit, which has 1-year validity. This is a permit granted by EMP to the establishment, which allows them to discharge treated wastewater, whether domestic or industrial. Second, the permit to operate or PTO, which has a 5-year validity. This permit is granted by EMP to the establishment to operate air pollution source equipment such as generator set, boiler, and so on, ensuring that all conditions stipulated on the permit are met. Lastly, the Hazardous Waste Generators ID or HGID. This is considered as a document which registers all hazardous waste generated by the organization, such as electronic waste, all contaminated materials, silica gel, solvents, and so on. This document has no expiration unless revoked or amended. To show my appreciation for watching the whole video, I will be giving the following PCO side notes and tips. Number 1. Ensure that the expiring permits must be renewed 30 days prior to the expiration date. Number 2. Implement programs that will involve and raise awareness among employees of your organization for environmental management and/or protection. Create environmental initiatives within the organization. Number 4. Stay tuned on EMB website and our FB page to stay updated with the latest environmental policies. Last but not the least, be an ISO 14000:2015 certified. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. For other specific topics discussed in this video, and you want further or more detailed discussions of such topics, please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching and see you till the next video.